In the golden halls of Mount Olympus, where clouds curl around shining pillars and ambrosia scents the air, there once lived a goddess whose very presence seemed to turn back time, a divine being whose laughter brought vigor to the hearts of immortals. Her name was Hebe, daughter of Zeus, the king of the gods, and Hera, the queen of heaven. She was born in radiance, a being of pure light and vitality. From the moment of her first breath, the world seemed to glow a little brighter. The flowers of Olympus bloomed in her presence, and the rivers sparkled as if rejoicing in her youth. While her father ruled the cosmos and her mother guarded the sanctity of marriage, Hebe embodied something quieter yet equally sacred, the eternal renewal of life. She was the goddess of youth, the spirit of rejuvenation, the very essence of freshness that keeps the universe forever new. In the myths, Hebe's birth is described not as an act of thunder or war, but as a whisper of spring. Hera, weary from the storms and conflicts of Olympus, looked upon the mortal world and longed for something gentle, something that could restore the beauty time had stolen. And so, from her divine longing, Hebe was born, not in battle, but in peace. Some say she was born when Hera bathed in the sacred waters of Kanathos, a mystical spring that renewed her virginity each year. From those waters rose Hebe, radiant and eternally young, a living symbol of Hera's own regeneration. Thus, Hebe's very existence became a promise, that even the gods, though immortal, could still feel the thrill of renewal. In the gleaming halls of the gods, Hebe served a role both humble and divine. She was the cupbearer of the gods, the one who poured nectar and ambrosia, the sacred elixirs of immortality. With graceful hands, she filled the goblets of Zeus, Poseidon, Athena, Apollo, and all the immortals. The mere sight of her, youthful and serene, reminded them of what they truly were, beings untouched by age or decay. Her service was not servitude, but ceremony. Each time she lifted the golden cup, she was renewing the divine order, ensuring that the gods remained ever young and their power undimmed. Even the mighty Zeus, Lord of Thunder, softened in her presence. Her laughter echoed through the banquet halls, and it was said that when Hebe smiled, the eternal fires of Olympus burned brighter. In Greek, Hebe means youth or prime of life. But to the ancients, her name meant more than just the years of beauty. It meant vitality, freshness, the moment when life is most alive. To call upon Hebe was to call upon the strength of spring after winter, the time when the earth blooms again and hope returns. She was the divine embodiment of that feeling when you take your first breath after sorrow and realize the world is still beautiful. Hebe's story does not end in the golden halls of Olympus. Her destiny was intertwined with that of a mortal, or rather, a mortal who became divine. That mortal was Heracles, known to the Romans as Hercules, the great hero of strength, son of Zeus and immortal woman, Alcmene. After completing his 12 impossible labors and enduring a life of suffering, Heracles finally found peace in death, or what mortals called death. For Zeus, moved by his son's endurance and bravery, brought him to Olympus and made him immortal. And there, awaiting him, was Hebe. The myths tell that the two fell in love, a union of strength and youth, courage and renewal. Their marriage was celebrated with divine joy, for it symbolized the reconciliation between mortality and divinity. In marrying Heracles, Hebe became not only the goddess of youth but also the goddess of forgiveness and rebirth, for she offered the hero a new beginning after all his trials. Their union was harmonious and blessed. It is said that whenever Hebe poured ambrosia for Heracles, his strength grew anew, and whenever she touched his hand, his heart remembered the peace he had long been denied. Even after her marriage, Hebe's role as the cupbearer remained sacred. However, in some tales, she passed this duty to Ganymede, the beautiful Trojan prince whom Zeus brought to Olympus. Ganymede became the new cupbearer, but Hebe's essence, the spirit of youth, remained ever present in the nectar he served. She was not replaced, she was transformed. From that moment, she became more of a symbol than a servant, more of a force than a figure. She was the eternal reminder that even the gods must cherish renewal, and that without youth, without freshness, without change, even immortality would grow weary. In mortal life, Hebe's blessings were deeply desired. Ancient Greeks believed she could restore youth to those who aged too quickly or lost hope. Some myths say she had the power to renew even the old gods, and that once, at Hera's request, she returned the beauty of the aging Iolaus, Heracles' companion. Thus, she was invoked in rituals of rejuvenation, in prayers for vitality, and in festivals of springtime renewal. Her presence was celebrated whenever flowers bloomed again, whenever rain revived the earth, and whenever a weary soul felt the spark of joy return. Hebe's relationship with Hera was one of profound affection. Hera, often depicted as stern and jealous, softened only in the presence of her daughter. Hebe represented what Hera wished to protect most, the sacred bond of family, the renewal of love, and the innocence of beginnings. When mortals prayed to Hera for happy marriages or fertility, it was often Hebe's gentle influence that carried those prayers upward. In many temples of Hera, small statues of Hebe stood beside her mother's throne, reminding worshippers that love, even divine love, must always be renewed. Hebe's myth may seem simple compared to the grand sagas of Zeus or Athena, but within it lies one of the most profound truths of Greek mythology. That youth is not merely the absence of age, it is a divine state of being. To the ancients, Hebe represented that part of the soul which never grows old, the spark of wonder, curiosity, and joy that survives even after years of sorrow. In this way, she is still alive in the human heart. Every time someone rediscovers passion after despair, or hope after loss, or laughter after tears, that is Hebe, pouring the nectar of renewal into the cup of the spirit. Artists through the ages have tried to capture her grace. From ancient statues to Renaissance paintings, she is often shown holding a golden cup, sometimes beside an eagle, the sacred symbol of Zeus. In her calm face and eternal youth, we see not vanity but serenity, the peace of someone who knows that life's beauty lies in constant renewal. Poets wrote that even time himself dared not touch her. For in the presence of Hebe, time forgets to pass. And so, the story of Hebe reminds us that every dawn is a kind of rebirth. That every heart, no matter how weary, can find renewal. That even the gods, in their endless life, need a reminder of what it means to feel young again. She is the laughter that breaks sorrow, the warmth that follows winter, the divine whisper that says, "Begin again." As long as flowers bloom and the sun rises over Olympus, Hebe, goddess of youth, will pour her golden nectar into the world, keeping it forever alive.